Shubham Kejriwal and Sanjay Ji here. Srinivasrao is there. And Tripathi is there. Shiv Prasad is here. Okay. I invite Dr. Aruna Agarwal to please chair this session and conduct proceedings.
Good afternoon, all. So my talk is on should we say no to nano, a preliminary study to corroborate occurrence of nanoparticles in treated wastewater samples. My presentation follows the three headings, that is introduction, methodology, results and discussions, and final conclusions. So coming to the introduction part, nowadays there is an extensive production and use of nanotechnology based products. They were released into the environment via sewage is currently occurring. Concentrations of these nanomaterials in wastewater and wastewater treatment will inevitably increase in the future. And also, the wastewater is one of the important sources for entry of these nanomaterials into the environment. For example, if you take the various sources or forms by which these nanomaterials can enter the environment include treated effluents, biosolids, and plant-generated aerosols. Therefore, information on the occurrence of nanoparticles in wastewater will be an important contribution to understand their behavior and as well as the fate in aquatic ecosystem. And also, if you look at some of the examples of the nanoparticles which are already in wastewater treatment facility systems and as well as the environment and various components of the various parts of the environment, like titanium dioxide, silver, and fullerenes, are currently the most produced and hence found in wide range of commercial products. Recent studies on exposure modeling, like where these chemicals which are involving the nanoparticles are being experimented in the laboratory conditions, and also they have predicted some concentrations of these nanomaterials, indicated that the predicted concentrations of this TiO, this titanium dioxide nanoparticles in wastewater effluents in the range of 0.7 to 16 mg per liter or higher than the predicted no effect concentrations, where there is no effect of this compound was found to be 1 microgram per liter, but the predicted concentrations are ranging between the 0.7 to 16 micrograms per liter. So this is one of the points we noted down so as to talk so many issues regarding this, what are the impact of these nanomaterials on the environment. As nanomaterials have been used in various post-nickel products, example is that titanium dioxide is one of the extensively used component in toothpaste, cosmetics, or personal care products everywhere, and also even the paints what we are using. So, they may find their entry into various compartments of the environment. Detection of such nanomaterials in wastewater can assist in understanding their fate in the environment while passing the wastewater treatment systems. Therefore, the major objective of the concept of the present talk is really these nanoparticles are entering the wastewater? Can they be detected or not? So if they are detected, so what is the future? So shall we say no to the nano, or shall we continue to use the nanoparticles, or in what way? So what is the effect or the impact of these nanomaterials on the environment is the next question to be pursued by so many policy makers and regulatory affairs and as well as the different sectors of the economic development of not only India, across the globe. Therefore, this context is arise to address the problem with respect to the following methodology, where wastewater samples were collected from a conventional aqueous wastewater treatment facility at Ambakpet, which is one of the central facilities of the wastewater treatment plant in Hyderabad. And we followed the American Public Health Association guideline number 60, which talks about the sampling methodology, how to collect the samples. So what is the methodology we proceeded, or what is the methodology we followed by an expert to devise or to detect the various types of the metals or nanomaterials in the environmental samples, especially wastewater. Further, the samples were subjected for the hot plate digestion as per modified guidelines 3030G, which mainly talks about the extraction of metals, various metals, and as well as other particles. The samples were filtered through 0.22 micron filter before analysis by dynamic light scattering. So why we filtered through 0.22 micron is one is providing the facility of the sterilization, number one, but to avoid the major or agglomerates of the nanoparticles. So when we say the nanoparticles or the dimensions of the 10 to the power of 9, minus 9 nanometers at the time. So we have tried to reduce the most of the interferences by using the 0.22 micron filter and also avoid the occurrence of the different types of microbes in sampling system during the analysis by the dynamic light scattering technique. After we perform the particle size distribution analysis of these wastewater samples by dynamic light scattering approach. So dynamic light scattering is a method where it is going to detect the size of the particle in a given sample based upon its distribution in the form of the homogeneous or heterogeneous types. So therefore dynamic light scattering will give the information whether the particle size is ranging between which nanometer or which micron is. So these are the base outcomes, the results. So when you look at the size distribution of the particles in wastewater sample, it is a raw sewage, which is the before just subjecting for the treatment system. And in the accurate sleds treatment system, the analysis indicates that there is the presence of the particles ranging between the 10 to almost 1 micron. And intensity of the particles is also ranging very less, but there is an occurrence of the particles which are ranging in this size. And also, the next type of sample we have done for analysis is the wastewater sample from the aeration tank of the accurate sleds system, which is analyzed by DLS, again indicates that also there is a reduction of the nanoparticles or the size of the particles ranging between the 10 to 100, but there is still occurrence of these types of particles in the system. So here we have used the controls of the system and as well as we minimize the any error in the result analysis, and finally we can conclude that there is a chance of occurrence of the nanoparticle. But at this junction, it's very difficult to say which type of material it is, whether it is a metal or it is an organic compound or any other ingredient is present. That has to be done with the help of other complementary techniques. But we can say that there is association of some nanoparticle materials in the wastewater system. And also we have to address one more issue is that the really existing technologies of the wastewater treatment are really going to address the problem of these nanoparticles or not, is another question is going to arise in the future. So this is a point at which we have to take care regarding the use of nano in the every sphere of life. So samples showed that the polydispersion due to the variation, the aggregation, and the sedimentation might be one of the reasons behind these outcomes. And however, the interpretation of the DLS data mainly depends on the parameters such as the size, concentration, polydispersity, and the other surface properties of the particles. So here the complete scientific analysis is required. Hence, the careful analysis of the occurrence of these nanoparticles samples should be confirmed by using other complementary techniques such as microscopy and as well as mass spectral methods where there will be specific information about which type of material it is. Then only we can say that nanometers are there, but which type of nanometers are there. So even USCP, that is United States Environmental Protection Agency, even our Indian Central Pollution Control Boards, State Pollution Control Boards are in the process of identifying the various methodologies how to detect and quantify these nanomaterials in waste and as well as environmental compartments. Still we are working on that line, but it is the right time to think about such problems because down the line of after 10 years, we said the nanoparticles are in the environment, that nothing will be there in our hands to address the problem. Therefore, this is the right time to address such issues in the realm of the scientific world. Therefore, I conclude that the study can infer the basis of association of nanoparticles in wastewater. However, the relevant nanomaterials and their concentrations in wastewater samples to be established only by employing other complementary techniques such as inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry and as well as electron microscopy. Thus, it is concluded that use of complementary techniques should be employed so as to confirm whether the nanoparticles are there or not. If it is there, shall we say it's no or yes? It depends on whether we proceed with the nanotechnology or not. So what type of policies have to be framed? What are the regulations to be addressed? So this is a very right time to think about these issues, and also it will be a very good initiative for India especially to to talk about the nanotechnology. So these are the references we use for the study, and we give the acknowledgement to the Department of Biotechnology which has supported our study, and also I support myself, especially I thank Department of Biotechnology for providing me the fellowship, and also other authors like Ashwini, PhD, thanks BITS Plan and Hyderabad campus for teaching assistance from the BITS, and I thank Varun, and also I thank the group of the people who is organizing this conference and giving me this opportunity to express my idea on nanotechnology and its use in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, and all.
I think it's a very crisp and focused presentation. If you have any questions to ask. Sorry to technical for us, but could you please enlighten us on the effect of nanoparticles on aquatic animals?
Yes, as of now, the studies are going across the globe, and especially if you take the TA-Wood, I take one example. So TA-Wood is one of the nanoparticles extensively used in cosmetic applications and personal care products. So we use because it's a nano, but what is the fate and behavior, we don't know. So especially the studies are going with respect to the aquatic organisms. Example, say Daphnia magna is one model, and the fish, and as well as the Coenorabites elegans are the different models, and also human cells, where they can extrapolate the results of these experiments to predict the effect of these nanoparticles on humans and as well as the environment. So at what concentrations they are going to cause the impact is also not known. So at this junction, we should realize, because if we recollect the past experiences like pesticides use, so at the downline of 15-20 years, we came to know that pesticides accumulate in the soil and they accumulate in the different plants, food materials, then we started talking about that. Such problems should not arise because of the nanotechnology. Therefore, we are using one of the areas, that is the wastewater treatment plant, because they are the centers to treat the different types of wastes. If themselves are not taking care of such issues, definitely they enter the environment, finally showing the impact on the environment and health. So that's why we are imposing this study to be taken care by so many intellectuals across the globe to address the issues first, then it is ultimately to promote the safety of nanotechnology. That's it. So it's not a question about it, we say no to nanotechnology, but we should think about before promoting what sort of side effects or what sort of adverse effect it has. So in this context, especially aquatic organisms, we are taking care of till now is fish and Daphnia magna is extensively studied, and the studies are in further progress, and also even the scientists are struggling to devise various methods to find the nano behavior, because they aggregate sometimes they show effect under aggregation behavior. So these are to be addressed. So it's a naive area actually. So many people. So I think I have answered your question.
I think it's the right time. And
Yes.
right time.
Yes.